Justinian has achieved stability within the realm. We are now at the critical moments near the end of his life to make sure that Georgios will become the next emperor. While Justinian beheaded the previous emperor, it was just one head of the Hydra. And the emperor's family, House Skleros, are an extremely influential family in the realm, and they are consistently looking to get their family back in power. While politics is a constant in the realm, Justinian has not lost sight of the long-term goal to restore Rome. To help him do that and watch his family's back, he is looking to enlist the help of some Vikings from the north. However, the same things that make these men so treacherous in war also makes them very difficult to control, and having them this close to the throne could bring its own problems. It is a good day to be the Basilios. We have managed to deal with a lot of the factions that were causing us issues. We've reduced the size of the claimant one. The Imperial bureaucracy one will probably just sort of push and pull, but that's okay for now. Our succession is looking strong. Our son Georgios is in first place by about 100 points. We will want to keep an eye on this, make sure nothing sneaky happens, but the good news is that a lot of the sort of setup and consolidation that we needed to do has been done in the previous episode. Now we have some different things on the agenda. The primary goal of this series is, of course, to restore Rome. We can now see this decision, and we can see all of the individual duchies that we need to hold in order to restore the empire. This will be our guide for expansion, and if we're ever unsure of who we want to invade next, it's going to be whoever is closer to these titles. The army is still not fully built out to size. We did get some comments in the previous video around the importance of siege. This is something that I definitely agree with. I also don't know how I feel about the current mix of troops that we have in the Empire army. I think it may be better to put, say, spearmen or skirmishers in the actual themes themselves, just in case we ever lose control of those armies. We're not just screwed because our best troops are in there. But what we also really want to buff out our army with is the Varangian Guard. We had a brief look at this before. This does give us Varangian Guard men-at-arms, which are very, very nice. 45 attack, 32 defense. Amazing. We're not going to have a Norse county, and we're probably not going to ally with somebody who is Norse, but I am sure we can find 3 more people who are Norse and invite them to our court. Alright, there we go. Managed to find 3 of them. It does help that Scandinavia is so massive. There's actually quite a few Norse characters kicking around the place. 1000 prestige, but let's do it. So this is the core position that we have unlocked, increasing our heavy infantry toughness up to 20% based on aptitude. They increase the Varangian bodyguard aptitude, and their more eligible courtiers gain the Varangian and loyal traits. Varangian is quite nice, making them better at martial, prowess, and some diplomacy, and obviously we want them to be loyal as well. On top of this, more Varangians overall will start to appear, which will be quite nice. Something else that's also quite interesting is the Varangians will claim some gold after the Basilius' death. I really wish I had some sense of what some gold is in this context. Regardless, we have nobody fantastic for this role at the moment, but we'll throw this man in just to get a bit of opinion with him. He's at least not terrible, so there'll be no debuffs, but there'll be no buffs either. Now, I've also gone through the rest of my courtiers and refreshed them. There was a lot of people who were terrible at their job because they were so old at this point. Everybody now is mostly good or excellent. I've gone through and customized their individual jobs as well for little buffs towards development and things, as well as influence. We are spending a little bit on monthly salaries, but we are so rich given the amount of tax we're getting from our capital. I think this is well worth it. I also want to make sure I come back in here when we go to war. There are lots of different specific things like this one, oversee breeding, which increases our overall army pursuit as well. So when we're at war, want to make sure we have all of these turned on also. Interestingly, the head of the Varangian Guard that we just put in is supposedly set to marry this woman here. She's 31, he's 28, and it's a betrothal? Why have they not been married already? Ah, I should have read the whole thing. He has to be single to be our head of Varangian Guard. Alright, fair enough. I'll enjoy the marriage at least. That's alright, though. We actually had a Varangian kicking around court who's actually average, so he's even better in this position. And of course, now let us also put the Varangian Guards into the Byzantine Empire army. Interestingly, they can actually only be hired inside this army. They can't be in any of the themes or my personal army either, which I actually forgot I even had. I need to build this out as well. Grandson is in line for Mesopotamia. This is like the third time, without even trying, our grandsons have ended up next in line for an actual team. Tremendous, though. Right, so as I gain gold, I'm going to keep building these up. We're going to have the Varangian Guard in the Byzantine Empire army, obviously. We'll have some siege in there as well. And then we'll continue to buff out everything else with our 2 themes and our personal army. Oh, so the spy master of this man here, the man who currently holds the Aegean Islands and is from the second most powerful family in the realm, have had an affair together. So we can choose to imprison them or say nothing but malice and lies. Either way, they're both going to gain Fornicator and lose the level of devotion. Now, I don't actually think I will arrest her. I think it's actually better to leave her in that court with that child, let them try and deal with all that and be at each other's throats. Meanwhile, in the background, when this man retires or is forced to retire or dies, my grandson is there waiting. And I just realized also it's the same grandson. The same grandson who is in line for the Aegean Islands is also in line for Mesopotamia, which is quite interesting. He is our grandson and family, but he's not actually from our house, which is gonna make things interesting. A fearsome whale ravages ships along the straits. My friend Strategos Nikolos laments. Fishermen, merchants, even naval captains all dread leaving their havens. We could say it must be stopped by any means. Martial challenge, 57% chance of gaining 225 gold, 150 prestige, and bested the beast for 15 years. We could also get the whale fat candles artifact, but there is a 42% chance that we get bested by the beast and the embarkation cost goes up. Oh, and we get Scourge of the Straits. Holding taxes, development, growth, and popular opinion, minus 20% for 15 years. Oof. I mean, our other options aren't really much better. We could gain some piety and leave it up to God, get a critical break, and then the Scourge of the Straits happens anyway. We could spend some gold to try and deal with it, and it's like a middle ground where we get less of a debuff, but at least some popular opinion. You know what? Go for it. No guts, no glory. The beast is unstoppable. Oh boy. Alright, that's pretty bad, but you know what? We can tank it. It's okay, it's okay. We have one more learning perk. I can finally take Know Thyself, so when we're 1 year away, we're just gonna give all of our power to our co-emperor here, so he is basically already the emperor when we die. Fascination discovered. City planning. Very nice. This now, oh, and our son is losing the Byzantine Empire. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, look at the investment difference. 125 into my son, 362 into this man from a bunch of different people. And of course, his main benefactor is Strategos Alexandros, the man who absolutely hates us for stealing the throne from his father and his family. Alright, well, we'll give him another medium deduction. That puts our son in first, but not by a lot. We're going to need to keep working on this. And because city planning is now finished, we can get our villa to level 2 once we have the gold. This will be very nice for the extra income and influence, but also the building slots. I want to get this filled out as soon as possible, so we are just overflowing with income and influence. My spy master has come with me with grave news. It is my wife, Menz, that is plotting to kill my patriarch, Florin. Why? What is going on here? So I can end the scheme at least. I'm not sure why she hates this man so much, but fair enough. We have a plague that is spreading rapidly. It is smallpox, a major plague, and it is about to hit the capital. Now, I'm not too worried about myself. If I get it, I'd probably drop dead in a week, but I really, really want to make sure that my son doesn't suffer from this. If he does, everything that we've invested in him is out the window. I am going to isolate the capital, though, because I really can't afford my son to get sick from this. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's happened anyway. Georgios has smallpox. Oh no. Do no more than what's necessary. Failed treatment, aggravated wound. Oh my god, no, this can't happen. One of our daughters has just died, Lady Zenobia, from smallpox. I'm overwhelmed with stress again, which is not good. Normally here I would just take frozen grief. I'll take the moderate health penalty. If I die, I die. My son is first in line. But until I know he's safe, I'm not comfortable taking frozen grief, so I think for now we're going to become a drunkard. Oh my god, yes, thank you. It's difficult not to shed a tear of joy. This is very true. Georgios has lost the trait smallpox. And Georgios has come of age. Very nice. Intricate web weaver. Ooh, level 3. Very nice indeed. I'm quite happy with how Georgios has developed here. Obviously, he picked up the trait Vengeful, which is sinful, but quite nice towards his intrigue. Ambitious, diligent, bossy, intricate web weaver. Level 2 Strategos from mentoring him. I'm pretty sure that's already like about what we are at 60, and he's only 16. I think this will make for a great emperor. The day has finally arrived. My son and heir Georgios is truly a man, ready to assume his place as the second most powerful person in all of the Byzantine Empire. After me, of course. Though a young co-emperor has little say over the state of the realm, once they have grown into their role, there is little they can't speak to. I can only hope I made a wise choice raising him to this high station. So now our power sharing has officially transitioned into a duumvirate. Georgios has kept 50% of the scales of power swing he earned during childhood, was granted access to many new borrowed powers, his intrigue, stewardship, and prowess has all increased. Okay, I see. So when he was a child, the scales of power were really just buffs to him and how established he'd be as an adult. Now that he is an adult though, the scales of power actually give him quite a few different abilities. Now, we are now 66, still in poor health, so surely we'll be gone soon. I don't think he'll manage to get too far up these scales of power before we die anyway. I'm not overly worried about it. He'll be in control anyway, but it's just more so that I don't want to give him a ton of power right now in case he just starts making very idiotic decisions. Situational loyalty, that is not what you want to see from your own son. Ah, very nice. Okay, so the man who used his favor hook on us to actually get on our council is now dead. Because we made him admin, we've actually inherited the theme that he owns. He is at a war currently, though. Who's this against? This is interesting. I've inherited a war between vassals. We are winning, and he is feudal, so I wouldn't mind necessarily taking this off of him, because then I could just make it admin. We've unlocked enough innovations that we are now actually in the early medieval era, which is quite nice. Before I start rushing any of these down, though, I am just going to pick up the remaining 2 innovations that we have inside of tribal, just to make sure we have everything that we possibly need there, and then we can do things like household soldiers and make our army even bigger. Still feels very strange, but I suppose we'll raise our armies over here to fight our own vassal. I think smallpox is kind of doing a bit of a realm reset here at the moment. Lots of powerful people are dropping like flies. It also feels kind of funny to be on, what is this, episode 4, and only now are we actually starting to do warfare in Crusader Kings. Alright, there we go. Well, that's that war dealt with. What is even going to happen here? I gain the contested title. So I gain this man's duchy, which is fine, because it's currently feudal, and then surely when I give it away, it will then be admin? I'm going to give it to somebody who's actually outside of the duchy, but who is at least already admin. That should work best. This is actually quite messy. We also got the theme of Bulgaria, but all the counties within it aren't admin themselves. They're still feudal, so trying to find people who are actually admin so we can grant them the governorship and not just keep handing out feudal titles is one thing. I also made a mistake and gave this barony to a member of the clergy who I can't actually grant an appointment to for the other duchy. Okay, so people keep dying and I keep getting a bunch of themes back in my possession that I need to dish out again. Okay, managed to deal with that. A little bit of a messy one. Technically, we don't have to give the governorship to somebody who holds lands there, but I feel like that's probably the smarter move. Otherwise, I would imagine they'd just be super weak to, if the people who actually did hold land there kind of revolted against them, they would have nothing to defend with. Oh, here we go. Now I have smallpox. Alright, if I die here, it's time for Georgios to step up. Let's see. Oh, of course I get reduced disease symptoms and you almost lost my son. I'm still supposedly at death's doorstep though. Now the plague might still go away or it could be too much for me to handle, but either way I feel like we're getting close. Oh, and just like that I've lost it. Nothing can take me down. So we had another son a bit late in life. I'm not going to give him that name because I can't pronounce that. Andreas it is. There you go. High King Bjorn of Scandinavia has just flagellated himself to death. His 2-year-old son is now in control and he is at minus 88% for the crusade for the Kingdom of Poland. Interesting. Jesus, Georgios is going to work here. Now more powerful, swings the scales of power against me, leveraging position. He is putting in work. At long last, we have enough gold to upgrade our villa to a manor. Let's definitely do this. Thank you very much. Scandinavia might fall apart soon, but the HRE is still ridiculously strong. 11,000 men, still a conqueror, and now in a holy war for the Kingdom of Sicily against the Aghlabids. A prisoner in my own body. We are at long last infirm, severe debuffs across the board, including to health, and we gain another critical stress level because we are diligent. I'm pretty sure this is going to be level 3. So we are at the highest possible stress level. Now, we could become an obsessed autobiographer, another big debuff to all of our skills. We could ask for a barrel of drink to bathe in my sorrows. We'd gain drinking, binge, tragic drunk, and lose a level of fame. We could also abdicate. Now, I wouldn't be against this for the sake of Georgios taking power. What I don't like, though, is the second point, where all claims against my title become pressed. The reason for this is we have a lot of claims on the actual Byzantine throne. Now, it looks like most of them are actually pressed already, but some of them are unpressed, and I'd rather get rid of those, let those die with me, than give all of these people another lifetime to try and actually go for the throne. What I'm going to do is ask them to bring me another barrel of drink. I'll take another severe health penalty, and hopefully we just die soon. One of the last things Justinian can do, however, is take another dynasty legacy. We're going to stick on the bureaucracy tree. We're going to take power is a ladder, plus 10% initial scheme success chance, and promoting house members is 10% cheaper, which is very nice. Oh, and the moment I set a promote scheme on my son, he is losing the empire again. They know I am close to death, and they are trying to do something about it. Thankfully, I had enough influence to give him 2 more medium contributions, and then I'm going to keep the promote scheme going as well. Hopefully that can bridge the gap even more. My dear father, I am ashamed to say that the provincials seem committed to taking advantage of us. With your consent, we shall tighten our grip on the reins of power. Now, this is quite good for the realm because we get more tax and things, we have more powers, but it does mean everybody dislikes us quite a bit more. Interestingly, I would gain Has Convenient Scapegoat, so all of the vassals would end up liking me because I can just blame this on my son. However, it is an abuse of power and will cause a 35 strife with his vassals. I'm actually going to decline this though. It would be nice for the realm, but I feel like they'll all just end up hating Georgios II, he's emperor. I am trying to win you the realm. Stop making this so hard on yourself. The existence of Convert Justinian III scheme is exposed. They're trying to convert me to witchcraft. I am very glad I made my son co-emperor though. That plus 50 is actually helping us a lot to stay ahead here. The goal ultimately will be that in the future we need to spend a lot less time worrying about who's going to take over control because we have everything sorted. In the early days though, with Justinian in particular and possibly with Georgios, we need to spend a bit more time on it because it's just very easy to lose. The promote scheme is ready though. Let's seize the moment. Excellent results. He gains promoted and we've bridged that gap even further now. I'm also going to start using some of our money to upgrade some of the buildings we have in Constantinople. We have quite a bit of gold at the moment, but once we fully flesh out all of our armies, when we raise them to go to war, we could start burning through funds. We have the ability to make a ton of money in our position, but we need to make sure that we continuously develop and improve everything. Oh, here he is trying to convert me to become a witch. I don't think so. The world will know of your sin. Get away from me. The first thing on the agenda for Georgios is really going to be dealing with House Skleros here. They have been causing us such issues. It's understandable, given that we literally stole the emperorship from them. But the fact that they have so many people in themes and in governorships, they are able to invest so much of their influence because they essentially have 3 characters gaining influence, all voting for the same person. If we ever run into a scenario where we don't have enough influence to make something happen and they grow deeper in strength, we're not going to be able to compete. So Georgios are going to be focused on making sure that his brothers and family actually start getting in positions of power themselves, and we diminish the power of House Skleros. Oh my word, we have another conqueror now. Novgorod is now also a conqueror. We are just surrounded by these huge empires. We have Khazaria, Novgorod, Scandinavia, and the HRE. All of them either current or past conquerors. Oh, look at this. Lady Menza is going to try and convince Alexandros to stop trying to get himself onto the throne through factions. Yes, please. There it is, it's all over. Played for exactly 50 years as Justinian. It is now Basilius Georgios time. 18 years old, loads of time ahead of us. Let's make this happen. First things first, let's immediately consolidate our rule. This time we will take the legitimacy gain plus 25%. We're going to start him down the skullduggery focus, just in case we need to do some schemes in the beginning. Later on, I really want to get him into stewardship and then really focus on building up the realm and the army. But for now, let's make sure we have everything sorted. For our council, we're going to take everybody who is a powerful vassal and doesn't despise us. Ideally, heads of powerful families as well. The palace pillaging rite. Hulking, hairy Varangians stagger about my new imperial halls, their arms laden with gold and jewels. With Justinian's death, those who would have defended him to the last have taken to the treasure chambers. It is their traditional right, and none dare stop these elite foreigners from claiming glittering bonuses. So this is obviously what they mean by the Varangian Guard taking gold on the Emperor's death. So we could chastise them, and the parochial vassals will like it, will gain some prestige, but the Varangians will not like it at all. Or loyalty has its price. It's only 30 gold, and we gain dutiful Varangians. I think we'll go with this one. We knew we were getting in for, let's just do it. In terms of alliances, I am going to ally myself with another powerful family. I am a bit afraid of this. I don't like the idea of giving them an inroad that starts schemes against us and everything else. That is in the end how Justinian took his power. But I am going to marry off the daughter of House Malleus here. They are the one family who doesn't particularly hate us at the very least. If we can keep them happy with us, we should be fine. For their wedding celebration, we can choose to collect gold, which will be 500 or 350 prestige. I think we'll definitely take the gold. Thank you very much. Now that we have over 1,000 gold, we can also refound the Pandidiketerion, I think. It is basically a university of Constantinople, and it means that councillor tasks are more effective, and we get plus 15% development growth. This is quite nice. I do want to build up the realm and everything, but I think getting this early for the development growth makes a ton of sense, and we'll also gain the nickname The Scholar. I think this is a great way to make our mark as a new emperor. Alexandros has not given up on taking back the throne, though. He straight away has started a new faction, consisting almost entirely of his own family members who also, of course, want him to take the throne. Now, one issue we have is that there is another younger brother in the picture who has overtaken my grandson who previously was in line for a lot of these titles. The problem now is that even if we retire these men, it's still going to be in the control of this house. We could, of course, try to murder the heir, but that, if it's found out, could be detrimental to us. There we go. The manor is completed in our estate, which gives us another building to choose from. What we are actually going to build here is the market. This, at a base level, increases our powerful family rating and gives us some more domicile income. As we progress this, though, I had a look, and at level 6, it is the best money-earning building that we can build. Getting this down early makes a ton of sense to me. There we go, the market is completed, and we can now also get some more upgrades for the manor. We'll grab the servants' quarters for the hostile scheme phase length and monthly intrigue lifestyle experience. The existence of the Pose Basilius Giorgio scheme is exposed. Yeah, please get on that and don't let that happen. Yeah, we also have the ability to hold a triumph where we can gain legitimacy, influence, prestige, piety, and more. The thing is, it does currently cost all of our influence to do this, and I'm not sure how much we'll gain. But you know what, let's give it a go, we have time. I sit on my high horse, radiant in my most regal attire, leading a majestic procession through 2 wings of a cheering crowd. So we can choose to end it at the Hippodrome or the Hagia Sophia. Let's go for the Hippodrome. Ugh, food and gold should be distributed to the adoring crowd. We'd gain influence, legitimacy, and stress, but it's 500 gold. Good to know for the next time we do this. Not right now, straight to the speech. So we can do a martial challenge for promised victory, martial men-at-arms maintenance, powerful vassal contribution. We could do a diplomacy challenge promising stability for diplomacy and control growth, or stewardship for promised prosperity, monthly income and development growth. Our best odds are with stability, but I'm going to go for the stewardship one because I really want to continue to maximize the development and all the tax we're getting right now. Long live the glory of Constantinople, plus 100 influence. The people also believed me, so we now also get that stewardship bonus. Amazing, and my wife is pregnant. This will be the first child of Georgios. Oh, please, not another plague. What is this one? Typhus? It's over here and starting to spread. Will likely make its way to the capital as well. Alright, isolate the capital, isolate the capital. Ooh, things we don't like to see. This man had a favor hook on us. He didn't get it while I was in control, so he must have got it previously, and he's now become our spy master. I don't like when people work their way in there. Let's sway you. I was swaying my other spy master. Let's at least make you like us. Thankfully, he's not from House Slero, so he should be okay. Now, I would like to take the decision to develop the capital because we are diligent. However, it will give us a stress break currently. So, what better way for some recreation than hosting a chariot race in the capital? Oh, very nice. The Duchy of, what is that, Moisa here? Is willing to become a vassal. We will do low feudal obligations, and then we will try and get you over to admin as well. Oh, my son and heir! Oh, he's ugly. Oh, no, he's, what is this, homely? Okay, it's not as bad as ugly. He's just not pleasant to look at. Fair enough, though. Fair enough. We'll name you Justinian after our father. May you grow strong and wise. Now, for our other upgrade slot, I'm going to put in the bats here. Tiny boost to disease resistance and attraction opinion, and our personal physician safe treatment success chance is increased. Okay, here we go. It's time for the chariot race. As always, we're going to bet on the greens, just like our father did. Our brother Elliot is going crazy at us for betting so much on the game, even though we only bet 50, so I'm going to say clear off. I'm trying to watch the race. Okay, here we go. Let the games begin. Okay, so the greens didn't win, looks like the whites did, but that doesn't matter because our bookmaker made a tidy sum and has gained 1,500 gold for us. Thank you very much. Until next time, we gain some influence and some legitimacy as well. We'll finish this chariot race. We are going to be doing this on cooldown if we always have the chance to get this much gold from it. That is crazy and nowhere near what I was expecting. That is going to be it for this episode, though. We are now sitting on a mountain of cash, a fresh new emperor, fresh new ideas. We have powerful families to absolutely crush, and we have our own family to continue to build up. But so far, things have gone well. The main challenge of getting the throne and the primary challenge of keeping it has been successful. We're going to build up the realm a bit more, take care of all the political side of things, give ourselves a really strong position, and from there, it'll be nothing but war until we can finally take the decision to restore the Roman Empire and become Augustus. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.